Well, folks, the day has come. One of my stocks just got canceled. We got to talk about that in this video. How do I handle a situation like this where one of my stocks literally gets canceled? Oh boy, okay, we'll speak about that. In this day and age, it's a subject we have to discuss, obviously, being a market participant and having to deal with the cancel error that we're in. So we'll discuss that. A lot of other subjects I want to talk about in this video: stocks, the market in general, what's kind of going on out there. Obviously, some huge moves up. Unless you're a short seller, you should have made really good money the past couple days, especially today. A pretty good day out there for countless stocks. We'll speak about some of those, why the market's moving the way it's moving. We'll discuss that in today's video. As always, I appreciate every single person that's here. Thank you for being subscribed. I appreciate y'all. Also, everybody in the Patreon squad, I just posted up a couple hours ago the moves I made, which, by the way, we're now over 800 Patreon members. It's pretty exciting because once we hit over 1,000 Patreon members, we're going to start basically every single month. Right now, you can enter, if you're in the Patreon squad, you can enter for a free membership in my private stock group, private wealth group, but we pick one winner a month, right? But once we hit over 1,000 members, which we're, who knows, maybe it's within the next month we might hit that, right? We're going to start basically, there's going to be 2 people drawn every single month to win a free membership in there. So pretty darn exciting. And by the way, everybody that's in the Patreon squad, make sure you enter that for your chance to win that. And like I said, I just posted the stocks. Well, now it's 5 hours ago now at this point in time that I bought here today. One was a dividend stock and 2 were growth stocks, and obviously I posted portfolio screenshots of everything. So yeah, appreciate y'all. That will be pinned comment if you're looking to join us in the Patreon squad down there. Alrighty guys, so public count, very good day today, up over $40,000 in his portfolio, almost a 3% move. So that's definitely a pretty good size move there. And, it goes to show you kind of the difference a year can make, right? Last year, really just tough year for the public count, but actually the worst year ever for the public count since I started that. And what did I start that in? I think it was 2018. I want to say I started the public count, right? And it was by far and away the worst year. It was a horrible year last year. But look what Fidelity calculates this at right now. Fidelity has set a 34% year-to-date return as of the end of February, right? Versus the S&P 500 that's at a 3% return there. So it just goes to show you the difference a year can make. And you just get, some years are going to be awful for you in the market, right? 2022 is definitely one of those years for me and maybe some of you guys out there, right? This year, who knows? We'll see how it shakes out. Maybe it's a phenomenal year. Sometimes there's going to be years that come out of nowhere and they're just horrible for you. Sometimes they're going to be way better than expected, and some years are going to be kind of boring. And it's like, maybe you get a return somewhere around the market, or you might slightly beat the market, but nothing exciting. And every once in a while, you get a year where you're just absolutely wrecking the market, and we'll see what shakes out this year. But I just think that's important to kind of keep in mind there. Holy smokers, this ain't no dang jokers, okay? Look at the move Meta and Tesla made here today. They're the ones that really drove that account here today. Meta, massive move for Meta here today. Almost $20,000 that stock was up for me in the public account today. Extraordinary, right? Tesla, huge bounce back day, over $11,000 move for Tesla, right? Got rid of some of those short-term trader folks yesterday, right? When that stock sold off between 5 and 7% most of the trading day yesterday. Got rid of those people, right? And then look at the bounce back day here today. Like I said with Investor Day, I thought there were some really exciting things that if you're an actual investor of companies, right, you're actually thinking about the future. I thought there were some very exciting things they talked about on Investor Day, right? And I know it was 4 hours and some people got bored with it and whatever, right? And a lot of people just wanted to hear Elon talk, and he brought, I think it was over 15 different executives up to speak. I thought that was ingenious. You got to understand, with a company the size of Tesla, it's got to be more than one man. If you think Tesla's success is just because of Elon Musk, you are sorely mistaken. Tesla is a loaded team with talent. I've been fortunate to know many people that work for Tesla in all types of different positions: logistics, engineering, all types of different folks, right? And I can tell you these folks are all brilliant. Like, you're just like, you're blown away by them, right? And something that Elon Musk does really well is he attracts some of the smartest people in the world want to work for his companies, whether it be SpaceX or Tesla. And so, I'll just say, if you think Tesla's success is all just because of Elon Musk, I'm telling you, you're making a big mistake. He's obviously the most key piece of the whole story that's, for this past decade. But I can tell you there's a whole lot more that makes that company click and work the way it does outside of Elon Musk. And I appreciate him giving that time on Investor Day to other executives on the team. Some people weren't excited about that. I thought that was phenomenal. I thought that was a great job by Elon Musk there, okay? Obviously, big tech moving here today, big, right? Meta, the biggest mover of the bunch, 6% plus move. Meta just continues to show strength here after hitting $88 a share at the lows just a few months ago, right? Just a huge bounce back for Meta. Stock got so oversold, it was ridiculous. And Meta will go back to all-time highs probably within the next 12 to 24 months and then, go further and further from there, essentially, right? Shopify, nice day-to-day, 5% move. Snowflake, 5% move. Obviously, we just spoke about Tesla, nice move there. Apple, this is a surprising one. 3.5% move for Apple? That's substantial. You don't usually see Apple toward the top of the big tech list. Usually it's kind of like somewhere around here. So that's a pretty darn big move there. Amazon, nice 3% plus move here today. Google McDougal, 1.8% move. I think just a lot of people are still uncertain about kind of Google and what's going on there, right? Microsoft, 1.66% move. CRM, Salesforce was only stock down, but do keep in mind, Salesforce was up huge yesterday, okay? So naturally, it's going to, a lot of times you'll see these stocks after that big ramp up day, it'll give back some the next day, even if the market's positive. And that's exactly what happened with CRM here today. I was actually really impressed with their EPS there, okay? Now, if you're wondering why this market has all of a sudden shifted, and I'll show you the minute, literally down to the minute, that the market started to shift and move up yesterday, right? And then obviously continue to show strength here today. This is the reason why, okay? This is the reason why. Fed Bostic, he comes out yesterday while market was trading, and I know there's a lot of debate on if these Fed speakers should come out while the market's open, right? Because they move the market. Literally what these folks say, it moves the market, right? Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic basically came out yesterday, said he favors 25 basis points, and basically also said that the Fed's going to be in a position to pause rates in the summer at some point in time. Now, that's huge for the market. That was all the market needed to hear. That Bostic is still around 25 basis points for the next raise and that he's still kind of in favor of basically pausing the summer. That's all the market wanted to hear. That's all the market wanted to hear in this situation after last month's hot inflationary reports, right? They worried that maybe they would lose somebody like him and he would move to the 50 basis point squad, or maybe, talk about we're gonna keep rates, higher for longer, like all those sorts of things. And the fact that he says, hey, you know what, we could pause. Yeah, we still got a long way to go. He said that as well, right? But the fact that he's talking about pause this summer, that's all the market needed to hear. And look at the market. Almost from the time he was speaking about all that, right? Almost from literally the minute, the market started to move up and move up and move up as the trading day went on. And then obviously today, the market had just another great day in the market. And so I can tell you much of that is based upon what he said, because what he said can even change how treasuries are trading. It can obviously change market activity, bullish, bearishness, right? And obviously just hearing that was massive. It was an epic thing for the market, right? Now, do keep in mind, you look at the NASDAQ and it's like, wow, good day. This thing has a long way to go just to get back to where it used to be, okay? We're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of points, okay? The NASDAQ was 16,000 plus. Now, how do we get back to 16,000 plus? One would be if they cut rates back down to zero. Okay, that's a potential, but that's probably not unrealistic. The other potential on how you get back to 16,000 is strong earnings from the NASDAQ 100. If those companies report, improving earnings per share as this year ticks along, and if you're talking about 2024 as well, next thing you know, you could be back at new all-time highs. But they have to do that. The companies have to come through with those sorts of numbers, but that's how you get back to that sort of number over time, okay? Now, this just goes to show you, the NASDAQ over the past 20 years, right? And all the drama and all the different stuff that's happened over the past 20 years, good, bad, everything in between, right? And ultimately, every dip has been a huge buying opportunity and always is, right? And so I think it's important to remember that the NASDAQ's going to be 20,000 in the future. The NASDAQ's going to be 50,000. The NASDAQ's going to be 75,000. And just the question is, when do you want to jump on that train, right? Do you want to jump on when it's 20,000 already? Do you want to jump on when it's 50,000 or 75,000? It's really up to you. But that's where this is going over the coming decades, right? And a lot of people just miss these opportunities because they're hoping to get like a small difference here. And it's like you're missing out on the whole huge game by trying to chase this little like a few percent here, and you're missing out on the hundreds of percent trying to play the time in the market game, which we know is just a losing game over time, right? This is a New York Times article from when the Dow was over 1,000 for the first time in a year, right? And this was October 1982 when the Dow went over 1,000 points. In the fourth day of an exuberant, they called it exuberant stock market rally, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 25 points yesterday to close above 1,000 for the first time since mid-1981. The rise in the average reflected growing conviction that interest rates will continue to decline. The Dow average, which measures the top 30 companies, we all know that, right? The Dow average broke 1,000 on several occasions during the first 6 months of the Reagan administration, going as high as 1,024 on April 27, 1981. But it is a barrier that often convinces investors to sell, and as a result, it seldom remained above 1,000 for long. Trading volume in the New York Stock Exchange yesterday climbed to 138 million shares, the second highest ever. The record was set last Thursday with 147 million shares trading hands. Check this out, okay? This gets really, really intriguing here, and you can almost see similarities between different markets and we might be going through now versus the past, right? The volume of stocks bought and sold yesterday was considered particularly impressive because many of the nation's banks and companies were closed in observance of Columbus Day. Is that even still like a national holiday now? Columbus Day, okay? Confidence in the economy. President Reagan hailed the market's rally, telling a cheering Republican audience in Irvine, Texas, that the surge reflects increased money market confidence in the economy. Analysts attributed the market strength yesterday primarily to the statement by Paul Volcker, chairman of the Fed, confirming a more lenient monetary policy. Mr. Volcker said that while the Federal Reserve would continue to combat inflation, that policy does not imply continuing pressures on interest rates, Mr. Volcker said in a statement. Now, that's very intriguing because it just goes to show you that even back in those days, even back in the 80s, the market was very reliant on what the Fed was up to, what the Fed was doing. So I think it's just important because we see that, the market's so wrapped up into every word these Fed speakers say and what does Jay Powell say, right? And, it's just, you got to understand, like, this has been going on like this for a while. They get so wrapped up into this over time that sometimes they miss the big, huge opportunity. I also thought this was really intriguing, right? No NASDAQ talk, right? Back in those days, like, it wasn't even a thing, right? It wasn't even a thing. And so it's strange to see just S&P 500 and Dow talked about in an article. Like, that's just crazy, right? And I also thought this was interesting. There's a good chance that the Dow's move above 1,000 mark today is real, and unlike previous attempts, the Dow will spend more time above 1,000 in the future than below it. Good point by this gentleman. Okay, almost my name, almost my last name. They forgot a B in there. Okay, almost me back in the 80s there, right? Now, this gets way better. What we're about to get into right here is going to blow your mind because it is so like how everybody's talking and how everybody's thinking right now. This is going to blow your mind, okay? I was looking at this from 1990. Dow tops 3,000 for the first time, then slips. Propelled by the prospect of declining interest rates. Oh, there they go, talking about Fed, talking about interest rates again. The Dow Jones Industrial Average broke the 3,000 point mark for the first time yesterday before falling back slightly by the closing bell. The widely known and closely watched indicator of the stock market performance finished the day at 2,980, up 10 points from a trading high of just over 3,000 in early afternoon. But unlike the fanfare that accompanied previous landmarks, the 1,000 point level reached in 1972, the 2,000 point level surpassed in 1987, the 3,000 point mark passed relatively quietly just after 1:30. There's no cheering on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange as the big electronic scoreboards above the floor showed the Dow hitting a new high, according to a spokesperson for the exchange. But why was nobody celebrating the fact that the Dow hit 3,000, a huge milestone here, okay? Oh my gosh, is this a splitting image to this market we're in right now, okay? Check this out. Veteran stock traders said the mild response among brokers and customers reflects continuing worries among investors that the current run-up in the Dow is at its end. You wouldn't believe how little celebration accompanied the 3,000 point mark, says Don Hayes, a stock market analyst at Richmond Brokerage Wheat. First Butcher and Singer, holy smokers, what a name, that ain't no jokers. I don't think people really cared. The apathy in the stock market today is overwhelming. Quote, this is the most unloved, underappreciated bull market I have ever seen. Hold on, Elon Musk is calling. Yeah, Elon, can I call you back later? Thanks. Yeah, just a little busy recording a video. You have a good day too. How many Model 3s? This is the most unloved, underappreciated bull market I have ever seen. Nobody trusts it. Everybody is thinking this thing is going to crash again, okay? How much does that remind you of the market we're in right now, right? Nobody trusts this market. Everybody's thinking like, we're going to have to go down again, the recession talk, the worries, everything like that, right? And it doesn't mean they're unfounded. It just goes to show you like the similarities between this market and, obviously the market back in those days, right? And so you can actually have bull markets that are hated bull markets. The bull market we're going into there, which by the way, it really started to ramp up over those next few years. Like that was an incredible move after 1990, right? But it goes to show you because you have these sorts of markets that sometimes you can get into a bull market that's a hated bull market and everybody's looking at it and they're like, I don't like this, this is bad or we're going to crash again or whatever the opinion is, right? And at the end of the day, you just got to trust this stuff long term. You see opportunities in the market, you got to pounce on those opportunities because once again, you wait around, you try to play around with, well, maybe it will crash, this and that. It's usually just kind of a waste of time in a situation, right? Check this out. This is a commodity index. This is great news for the market right now, okay? We're not seeing any sort of major ramp up in commodity pricing right now. This is what we need to continue, okay? Obviously, last year, we saw an epic ramp up in commodities in the spring and the summertime. And so, even though the market has started to come back, right? Even though you could say financial conditions have loosened, commodities are not running, okay? So that's good news. Can't get too excited, but this is good news. I don't think it's talked about enough. And you've got to understand, when commodities are moving up huge, it's gonna negatively affect inflation because you got to understand, what's everything made out of pretty much, right? Commodities. And so at the end of the day, that starts to hit pricing over time. And so when you see something like this, definitely good news, right? Also more good news. In terms of national average gas prices, it is lower today than it was at this point last year. As far as last year, we were at $3.72 a gallon a year ago on a national average. Right now, we're at $3.39. Okay, I wish it was a lot lower, and I can tell you if we had more, if the refiners weren't making so much dang money right now, these gas prices would be way lower than this. But it is what it is. The bottom line is, if you want to consider the possibility of a soft landing, of an economy that doesn't fall off the rails and things like that, I think it's really important that this entire year we keep gas prices the same or lower than last year. We can't see some blow off the top gas prices or something like that because, we can't deal with that with consumers right now. That's not something we want to see at all. Remember what happened last year, right? In the summertime, we were talking about $5 plus on a national average for gas prices, not just in California, a national average. I mean, there were some parts of California that were $6, $7, $8. We can't have that, okay? So this is something that's really big, really impactful, and we need to see those, okay? Now let's get to one of my stocks that is canceled now at this point in time, and let me give you my perspective on how I'm going to treat this situation. Oh boy, okay. So I went on Twitter, I went to the trending tab, and as soon as I saw the name, I said, uh-oh, because you know if it's trending on Twitter, most of the time it's going to be bad news, okay? Most of the time it's bad news and somebody's getting canceled or something's getting canceled. So I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on here, okay? Going to trending, and right below Andrew Tate is Walgreens, and right above, it's right above Lil Wayne as well. And I'm like, oh boy, why is one of my dividend stocks up there with Andrew Tate and Lil Wayne? Come on, man, what's going on with Walgreens? Oh no. Well, attention, Walgreens decided they're not going to distribute. Can I even say that word? I don't even know what I can say and can't say that, okay? They're going to put those things out there anymore, okay? And some people are very upset with this, clearly, and they're saying it's time to boycott Walgreens, pass it on, okay? And so they're canceling Walgreens, right? Piper from Missouri, she says, friends, boycott Walgreens, don't spend a dime there. Man, they're mad, okay? Don't spend a dime there. Christopher Boozy says, I won't be shopping at Walgreens again, he says. He's done with Walgreens. Who knows if he ever even shopped at Walgreens, but he's done with Walgreens. People are upset, man. They're really, really upset at this situation. So, yeah, one of my stocks got canceled, okay? Now, you know what's interesting is they're not the only company that's canceled in this situation, okay? Hershey's getting canceled as well. I don't own Hershey's at least, okay? But yeah, Hershey's getting canceled because, I don't even know. I tried to look into the situation. I was like, I don't even know how to really describe this whole situation, but nonetheless, Hershey's is out there getting canceled as well. So Walgreens getting canceled, Hershey's getting canceled, everybody's getting canceled. And you know me, I don't play sides on this whole thing, right? They're saying, you can't buy these products. I'm like, look at how many products you got to keep. I can't buy this. I can't buy this. I can't buy this. I saw Kit Kats on there. I said, I saw Reese's Pieces on there. I said, give me a break, dude. So you know what I did? I went to Walgreens and bought the biggest bag of Kit Kats and said, screw you to both sides, because Lord knows. This is why these people are so angry on Twitter all the time, because they're depriving themselves of everything. They're like, I can't buy Kit Kats now. I can't buy Reese's Pieces. I can't shop at Walgreens. It's like, dude, sooner or later, you're not going to be able to do anything, because everything's going to be canceled in the world. Every person, every musician, every freaking company, it's insane, right? So in all seriousness, how do I treat this whole cancel culture in regards to stocks, right? I look at it and it's just like, I don't even really take it too dang serious, okay? The Walgreens situation, no, okay? The Hershey situation, no. People get outraged and they get all mad and they, go on Twitter and they, for a couple days they're all freaking out, and then the world moves on and it's on to the next thing, okay? We're in a fast culture nowadays. Things move fast. Things happen fast. People aren't even going to remember whatever happened with Walgreens, whatever happened with Hershey's a week from now. The culture is going to move on. There's going to be new things trending. The new thing is out, right? The new person to be mad about is out. The new company to be mad about is out. The new politician to be mad about is out, right? Trump's going to say something, Elon's going to say something, all these people are going to say something. It's going to make everybody mad, and everybody's going to talk about that. So at the end of the day, I don't really worry about things like that. I worry about more something so bad happening that, everybody legitimately talks about it, in sense of not because they're wanting to cancel it because of a decision that was made, but something they did that was so insane that it's no one, people on both sides are whoa, that happened? Oh my gosh, I don't want to eat there, I don't want to buy from that or whatever, that both sides are mad. Other than that, it just seems it's people that are in certain political parties that are just really upset with this other political party, and so they're just looking for anything to kind of attack there, and they're oh, they did this, they did that, they're canceled, and it's dude, it's so far gone at this point in time. Like I said, every company, every person, every celebrity, they're all going to be canceled at some point in time, okay? But now it's so overblowing that it's starting to become meaningless. Maybe in the beginning, cancel culture and that sort of thing, you got canceled, it was a big deal. Now the world's starting to move so fast and we're starting to cancel so much stuff that it starts to become just meaningless, and it's 2 days later everybody forgot about what, shoot, I was supposed to not shop at Walgreens. Oh, but Walmart did something last year and I wasn't supposed to shop there. Oh, but then there's Amazon and they did something, and you know what, I wasn't supposed to shop at Amazon, and sooner or later you're oh crap, I can't literally shop anywhere, and I can't buy food, and I'm oh crap, oh yeah. Oh boy, okay. And by the way, at the end of the day, for Walgreens, if people want to boycott that, then they're probably just going to spend it at Amazon, and I own Amazon as well, and I also own Pfizer as a dividend stock. So no matter what, it doesn't matter probably where they shop, I'll probably make money off that in the end. So anyways, guys, appreciate you as always. Stay focused out there. Stay focused on the long term. Much love. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you join us in the Patreon. That is the pinned comment down there, and have a great day.